Clarence Bennett was 78, but you wouldn't know it. He still got up before the sun every day, brewed coffee in that beat-up steel pot, and settled onto the front porch of the house he'd bought way back in '74. The neighborhood had changed, fast. Just outside Charlotte, developers were flattening family homes and squeezing in million-dollar townhouses. Yet somehow, Clarence's home still stood. The place itself was nothing extravagant: 2 stories, solid brick, shiny hardwood floors, and a porch wide enough for everyone. The walls in the hallway, covered with old photographs, 4 generations stacked side by side. For Clarence, it was never just real estate. It was proof that a black mechanic with barely a high school diploma could build something that lasted. Simone, his granddaughter, understood that better than anyone. She worked as a forensic accountant, digging into estate arguments and money trouble. Her parents never got it right when explaining what she did. Her mother would just say, "Simone deals with a lot of paperwork." Andre, Simone's older brother, got the royal treatment. He was a property developer, married to Camille, this poised consultant who treated family dinners like business mixers. Together, they'd convinced Raymond and Denise, Simone's parents, that their real estate empire was inevitable. Then Sunday night came, and everyone pulled up to Clarence's house. Before dinner started, Simone noticed things felt off. Andre wandered through rooms, snapping pictures of ceilings and the backyard. Camille eyeballed measurements around the dining room. Denise kept motioning to Raymond, whispering near the kitchen. Clarence caught all of it. He stayed quiet. Halfway through the meal, Denise set her fork down and smiled in that rehearsed way. "We have some exciting news," she said. "This family is finally moving forward." Simone paused, mid-bite. Andre leaned back, smirking already. Raymond cleared his throat. "We accepted an offer on this property." Everything froze. Clarence just kept cutting his roast beef. Simone just stared at her father. "You accepted an offer on Grandpa's house." "It's not just a house, Simone," Andre said. "It's an underperforming asset on prime land." Camille raised her glass. "We can put 6 luxury units on this lot," she said, casual as if she were describing dessert. Denise joined in with a toast. "To progress." Andre and Camille clinked glasses. Clarence sat at the head of the table, unmoved, while his family toasted to the demise of everything he'd made. Simone kept her voice level. "Where's Grandpa supposed to go?" Denise waved her off. "We found a senior community in Gastonia. It's clean and affordable, and it's close enough for visits." "Occasional visits," Simone repeated. Raymond cut in, his face firm. "He can't handle this house anymore. The taxes are through the roof. Everything's expensive. We're protecting everyone." Clarence finally looked up. "Protecting us from what, exactly?" Raymond looked away. Andre jumped in. "From watching your work lose value." Clarence's face gave nothing away. Andre pushed on. "My company will buy it, clear it, and build Bennett Row. Your name stays. So, you'll bulldoze his home and put his name on what replaces it?" Simone asked. Camille smiled too thinly. "That's how you honor a legacy." Simone shook her head. "That's advertising." Denise huffed. "Not this again." Simone recognized that tone, the same one she'd heard for years. It meant she'd broken the rule: never trouble the shining sun. Andre was always the star, the expert, the one who understood money. Simone was the one who saw things people wanted left alone. Raymond jabbed a finger her way. "Don't blow this over old furniture." Simone looked at each of them. "Does Grandpa even agree?" Nothing but silence. Clarence set his knife down. "You told me 20 minutes before dinner." Simone's stomach clenched. Andre leaned in. "Grandpa, we were going to explain." "You announced it," Clarence said. "That's not the same." Camille, arms crossed. "The sale is happening. Fighting just stirs up unnecessary trouble." Simone looked straight at Andre. "You can't sell what you don't own." Andre scoffed. "Raymond has power of attorney." "Power of attorney doesn't make you an owner," Simone said. Raymond slammed a hand on the table. dishes quivering. Enough. I'm his only son. I know what's best. Clarence met Raymond's eyes, disappointment clear. You haven't asked me what I want. Denise leaned in. It's not personal. You'll have nurses, hot meals, and people your age. I already have a home, Clarence said. Camille's patience snapped. The project is bigger than one person, Clarence. Simone didn't flinch. You talk about him like he's in the way. Andre stood up. We've let Simone be negative long enough. She owns nothing, she doesn't build, she doesn't know the vision. Simone kept calm. True. I don't own this house. Andre was all smugness until Simone reached for the brown envelope she'd brought. But neither do you. Raymond's face shifted. It was the first real fear the entire night. Andre ripped open the envelope, unfolded the papers. His smile faded instantly. Camille peered over. What is it? Simone, standing now, said, 6 years ago, Grandpa put this house into the Clarence Bennett Legacy Trust. Raymond just gaped. Simone explained, steady and unforgiving, he keeps the right to live here. The house can't be sold or torn down without the trustees' okay. Andre squinted at the last page. Who's the trustee? Simone met his gaze. I am. Silence, heavy as a stone. Clarence sipped his coffee. Raymond's voice was small. You did this behind my back. Clarence's answer was quiet, heavy. I had to go around the one blocking my way. Denise jumped up. Simone manipulated him. No, Clarence said. Simone listened. Andre tossed the papers onto the table. We're not done. Simone's eyes didn't leave his. It never started. Clarence turned to Raymond. You came here to push me out. Now, I want all of you gone. Raymond looked stunned. You're picking her over me. Clarence shook his head. No, I'm picking the one who didn't treat me as a problem. The family filed out, plates unfinished. But as Andre left, he shot Simone a look cold, calculating. He'd lost the fight for the house. And she knew. Men who lose everything don't walk away quietly. Retaliation started the next morning. Simone woke to an email from some law firm Clarence supposedly wasn't competent when the trust was set up. Hours later, Adult Protective Services called, asking to check on Clarence. By noon, Raymond had alerted the rest of the family Simone had isolated Clarence and grabbed his assets. By dinner, the group chat was a mess of accusations. Thief. Manipulator. Simone said nothing. She wrote it all down. Clarence sat watching from his chair. They're trying to drown you in noise, he said. They want me defensive, Simone replied. And will you fight? No, she said. I'll make them explain officially. Clarence grinned. That night, Simone started digging into Andre's company. She expected risky loans. But it was worse than that. Andre's business was collapsing, 3 projects stalled, contractors filing liens, lenders chasing payment. His new investor had bailed after spotting shady numbers. That opportunity to redevelop Clarence's land? Total BS. Andre needed it fast to get a big loan before his creditors buried him. Then she found something uglier. Andre had already shown documents to a lender claiming Clarence's house was under contract. There was a signature. Looks official. Only Clarence had stopped signing his name in cursive 2 years ago. Arthritis. It was a forgery. Slowly, Simone leaned back. This wasn't just theft. Andre had borrowed against the house already. Next morning, Adult Protective Services showed up with police. They expected a mess: confusion, neglect, abuse. Instead, Clarence was at the table, balancing his checkbook, answering every question. Then he had one for them. Who reported my granddaughter for holding me hostage? Anonymous tip, they said. Clarence nodded. Then you need to hear what happened at this table. He pulled out a digital recorder. Simone stared. You recorded dinner? Clarence grinned. 43 years in a shop. Men only told the truth when the boss wasn't listening. The tape played, Denise pushing the senior home, Andre talking demolition, Raymond threatening Simone, Camille pushing ahead, all on the record. The investigator's face changed. This sounds like financial coercion. It gets worse, Simone said, handing over forged documents and emails. An officer checked the paperwork. You think your brother's already borrowed against the house? I know he has, Simone replied. She showed search logs. The trust system flagged who poked around the title. Andre's company sent the fake agreement to an out-of-state lender. They slid the documents to Clarence. He didn't even look. That's not my signature. The investigator closed her folder. No more welfare check now, it was financial exploitation. Before they left, the wheels were turning. Simone didn't celebrate. She figured Andre wasn't working alone. That afternoon, Simone drove to her parents' house with a new stack of evidence. Raymond opened the door, looking for Clarence. He's fine, Simone said. Denise emerged, upset. You called the police on us. No, you did. Raymond tensed. Simone put the proof on the entryway table. Andre forged the signature. Denise froze. Raymond said nothing. You knew, Simone said. Raymond's eyes slid away. Denise pressed, face pale. Raymond. He spoke quietly. It was supposed to be temporary. Andre needed site control to get financing. Once it sold, we'd fix everything. So you helped him forge Grandpa's approval. I was trying to protect us, he muttered. Simone slid out a new folder. No, you protected Andre. Inside, bank statements showing Raymond bet almost all his retirement on Andre's failing company. Denise gasped, grabbing the files. What did you do? Raymond was silent. Simone looked straight at her mom. He sent $800,000 your savings. Denise staggered. Raymond whispered, it wasn't supposed to fail. Simone's revenge was quiet, no shouting, just truth, one ugly scrap at a time. Andre wanted the house because he'd lost the company. Raymond wanted the house to cover his secret bet on Andre. Camille wanted it because she'd risked everything on Andre's loans. Denise had been cheering for her father-in-law's eviction, not knowing her own house was on the line. They called it legacy. Really, it was panic, dressed as ambition. Raymond raised his voice. Don't you dare share this. I already did, Simone said. He wilted. Who? Simone didn't blink. The bank, the county, Grandpa's attorney. Denise sobbed. Simone. Cold, still. You almost made Grandpa homeless to save yourselves. Raymond's voice cracked. You're destroying the family. No, Simone replied. I kept you from destroying him. She turned for the door. Behind her, Denise demanded reasons. Raymond blamed Andre. That united front. Gone before she made it to her car. Simone didn't destroy anything. She'd just stopped hiding the truth. Andre was arrested 3 weeks later once police proved he'd used the forgery to get cash. Raymond skipped criminal charges but couldn't dodge civil fraud. The bank froze his accounts. He'd left a trail of texts admitting he knew about the fake signature. Camille resigned after her lenders found out she'd signed off on lies. Their reputations. Gone overnight. But Clarence had one last surprise. He asked everyone back. Not to forgive, just to finish it. Raymond and Denise arrived first, quiet, pale. Andre joined by video, lawyer beside him. Camille called in from a different building, her marriage already over. Clarence sat where he always did, the head of the table. I have a final decision, he began. Raymond panicked. Dad, we can fix this. Clarence was ice cold. You tried to take my home. Raymond mumbled, I was scared. No, you were greedy. Raymond stared at the table. Clarence nodded at Simone. Read, please. She read a new document. The house and all the land was leaving the family trust. Clarence had donated it to the Bennett Community Heritage Foundation. Once Clarence was gone, his home would turn into a resource center for seniors fighting scams and illegal evictions. A second building would offer temporary housing for people trying to keep their homes. It couldn't be sold. Not to developers. Not to anyone. Andre's mouth dropped. You gave it away. Clarence shook his head. I gave it a purpose. Raymond looked broken. This was supposed to be the family's. Clarence met his eyes. It is. Just not yours. Denise was crying now. What about us? She asked, desperate. Clarence didn't even sigh. You live with your choices. A few months later, the bank foreclosed on their house. Their memberships, their friends gone with the money. Camille pinned the whole thing on Andre and Raymond. Andre fired back, dumping emails that proved she was in on everything. Their marriage dissolved before the trial started. Raymond ended up taking any job he could get. Denise shrank into the kind of life she used to look down on. Andre pleaded guilty. Fraud. Prison. Restitution for years. But none of that compared to knowing Clarence never left his home, the one they tried to steal. One evening, Raymond showed up, shoulders slumped. I want to apologize to my father, he told Simone. He's resting. Raymond swallowed. Then I owe you an apology, too. He hesitated, searching for words. I thought Andre was building something bigger than all of us. He was, Simone said. Raymond blinked. A bigger lie. He glanced at the house. I lost everything. Simone shook her head. The house wasn't everything. Raymond's eyes filled. What did I really lose? His trust. Raymond stood there, speechless. Simone didn't invite him in. She didn't rub it in. She just closed the gate. Inside, Clarence sorted through applications for the new foundation. The house looked brighter now. It wasn't that the betrayal was gone, it had just been turned into something else. Andre had wanted to cover the land with luxury homes and the Bennett name. Instead, Clarence's name now outlived them as protection, not profit. Later, Simone sat across from her grandfather. Do you regret trusting Dad for so long? She asked. Clarence thought for a moment, then said, no. Why not? Regret belongs to people who knew better and chose worse. Outside, Raymond watched those warmly lit windows, finally seeing that inheritance comes from character, not blood. He'd tried to swap his father's safety for money, and now strangers would benefit from the gift he'd lost. Simone watched his car drift off into the night. She didn't feel victorious. She just felt peace. Her revenge hadn't needed fireworks or drama. She'd just let their own words on the papers they'd signed finish the job. Clarence's house was still standing. Andre's empire was not. And the family who treated an old man like a used-up asset finally understood. Greed chases profit, but never counts the cost. Grandpa Clarence did not lose his home. Simone did not lose herself. And the people who tried to trade family loyalty for money lost the one thing they could never buy back: trust. Raymond thought being a son gave him the right to control his father's legacy. Andre believed forged documents and expensive promises could make him untouchable. Denise celebrated too early, never realizing the house they wanted to steal would become the very evidence that exposed them. In the end, Simone did not need to shout. She did not need to beg. She simply protected the truth and allowed their own choices to punish them. Because sometimes revenge is not destroying someone. Sometimes it is stepping aside and letting karma finish the work they started. So tell us in the comments, did Simone go too far, or did her family deserve everything that happened to them? And if you believe betrayal should always have consequences, subscribe to Revenge and Redemption Tales and turn on notifications. Here, the revenge is quiet, the truth is sharp, and every choice leaves a footprint. Thank you for watching.